What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here, talking today about the Xbox outage. For about 12 hours yesterday, millions and millions of gamers got completely locked out of the games they'd purchased. Everything from Xbox Game Pass, digital things you may have purchased 10 years ago, all sorts of products that you had actually bought and paid for were remotely deactivated. Basically, the consoles got bricked. This is absolutely unacceptable. Even if you love Microsoft, their acquisitions and actions, this is something that you and I should unite against, no matter who does it. But let's take a look at the facts, the rage, and a bit of good news. Please like this video. Yesterday was my birthday, so legally you have to like this video. I also got a big birthday tattoo across my arm, which I'll show off at the end of the video for those who are curious. But let's begin with the dumpster fire itself. Now, this is a tweet that came out at 6:46 a.m. by IGN, confirming that the outage has finally been fixed. Xbox support says that, sorry, if you are seeing these error issues saying that games could not be launched, hopefully it should be resolved. So, what's been happening? Essentially this: online DRM is cancer. If you were trying to boot up a game, you probably saw this message that just showed that stuff was unbootable. Even if you had installed it, even if you had owned the game, if you tried to boot it up, it simply would not work. Now, this is Tom Warren. He's one of the predominant Xbox writers for The Verge, and he's been talking about the fact that this is from yesterday morning, and even at that point, it had been a 9-hour outage. People that have it or are being affected are unable to launch xCloud gaming sessions or pretty much anything else. The games you own just don't work. Like, look at this. This is crazy. Here's them talking about it on May 6th. I'm recording this video on May 8th. This was almost an entire day of millions and millions of games simply not working. Now, right here, you'll probably see this. Sorry, the person who needs this needs to sign in. Now, what's annoying about this is that there were these weirdo Xbox people claiming that this wasn't happening. People were saying that if you set your console as the home console, that should be able to fix it. But that's not true. I want to just show you somebody testing that out. This is my buddy, oh no, it's Alex, who does a bunch of like interesting console content. He had somebody, this is one of his subscribers, test it out. If you tried to set your console to home during this outage, it would not allow it because it said, sorry, you're currently offline, which means that all this talk about easy fixes, it just didn't work. Now, what is DRM? I mentioned this earlier. This is digital rights management. Essentially, as we get closer to this all-digital future, the whole idea is that ownership will still happen. We'll still have the games we bought. Purchasing things still means that it's in your possession. It just exists in a big theoretical cloud. Instead of sitting on your game shelf like I typically enjoy, instead it's supposed to sit in a digital library. And in order to keep this digital library up and running and legal, you have the digital rights management. It needs to do these online checks to constantly make sure that you, the person playing the game you bought, are actually the person who bought it. Now, in theory, this is fantastic because it's great to just sort of imagine this big digital ledger to make sure that everything is perfectly part of the checks and balances. The problem is, the internet is not that stable yet. While you are able to watch this video and subscribe, you still don't know when things are going to crash. Like, I feel like systems are built when they work and they fail so easily when it comes to even these billion-dollar companies. The fact that one part of Xbox Live went down and it collapsed an entire network for millions and millions of people, to me, is simply unacceptable. Now, part of the reason this does just scare me is two separate things at once. First and foremost, I only play Game Pass games. Like, I own some stuff. Occasionally, I will review games on Xbox, so I do buy stuff. I only own digital games on my Xbox. Like, every Xbox Series X game, I do not own a single physical Xbox Series X game. Zero. They are all digital. If this happens, they just cease to exist until the server comes up. My console becomes a brick because some guy at some headquarters happens to flip the wrong switch. Now, I've seen a lot of people talking about this because it's insane that right here, I can't play Dead Space, a game I purchased digitally during the Xbox 360 era because of Xbox Live being down. A single-player video game needs an internet connection. Really, look at this. It's just ridiculous. sorry, your downloaded games are not working right now. Like this is it. It's unacceptable. Like right now, I am a huge fan of Elden Ring. I decided to buy Elden Ring on every single system. My Xbox version for all of yesterday simply did not work. If I wanted to play it, I have to play the PlayStation version. Now, here's my thought. This is unacceptable no matter who does it. I'm sure some people in the comment section are going to say I'm just doing this to attack Xbox. Please touch grass. The reason I'm saying this is because there is an all-digital PlayStation 5. Consider that. There is an all-digital PlayStation 5 that currently exists. It's currently very popular. People are buying it. Think about if this happens on the PlayStation side of things or the Nintendo side of things. Imagine if there is an outage where all your digital games cease to function. This is the problem, is that as things get bigger, as things become more centralized, as things just completely exist inside of the cloud, outages mean that the products you paid for simply get broken. It feels like some weird bully who smells like freaking broccoli can smash the discs in your collection whenever they want. Honestly, I am pissed about this because it just feels completely unnecessary. Like, why is it that you're acting like Xbox is the future? Why is it that we're acting like PlayStation is the future if they're going to rely on systems and servers that are probably freaking archaic? What are you doing? And they want this. Now, let's be extra clear. These companies like to constantly have you connected to the internet because that means that you're more likely to buy their microtransactions, you're more likely to buy their DLC, you're more likely to interact with a lot of these online stores. Like, consider all these kids that are growing up and only playing online games. Stuff like Fortnite and Roblox and stuff like that. When these servers start crashing, huge chunks of their childhood can simply be instantly deactivated, which to me just feels completely deceitful. Now, there are people that are still trying to completely defend this, which drives me nuts. But here we go. This is Jez Corden. Jez Corden is very freaking amazing. Absolutely love this guy. One of the main writers over at Windows Central. This man, seriously, the saint of Xbox. Love every tweet he says. And he talks about the fact that this is something that is utterly unacceptable, that people who buy games cannot access their games if there is an internet outage. Now, even in his replies, you can play digital or physical games online. You just need to be connected to Xbox Home. Oh, just go into settings and select offline. Look, bro, if you can't do that, it's not working. Like, these people do not care about the truth. These people do not care about games. They care about winning a silly little console war. Right now, Xbox is selling incredibly well. PlayStation 5 is selling decent. Nintendo Switch is completely burning up the charts. We are entering an era of video games where everything is getting bigger, more mainstream, bigger budget, more AAA, more quadruple A. We should expect more of these game companies, and if anything, it feels like we're expecting less. What are you freaks doing? Get serious. Roast these companies. Tell them that this is, in fact, as Jez Corden says, unacceptable. But what are your thoughts? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a giant thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. Please also keep dreaming. All right, now we're going to deactivate the green screen so I can show you this. Here's my new tattoo. Check this out. Can I dramatically zoom in? Whoa. Look at that. Okay. It says, it is possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. It's one of my very favorite quotes from Jean-Luc Picard. In 2020, during all the lockdowns and stuff, I ended up binging a lot of Star Trek. I watched every single freaking Star Trek show again, and I really like Jean-Luc Picard. And so this quote is during a time where he's trying to help the android Data accept the fact that in the game of life and in games themselves, whether it is space chess or big crazy missions, you have to go in understanding that you might fail, but you're going to try anyways. And that really hit me. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. And please, screw DRM.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.